So about this.
People realize this, but once upon a time, Europeans fled Europe and came to America because they were tired of being wage slaves.
That is wrong. So the United States now occupies the central section of North America, which has been populated for millennia. And the first impetus for European expansion to this area was greed. The age of exploration was occurring at the time of the Enlightenment, where people in Europe decided they not only could learn all things in a rational way, but also take land. None of these things had to do with wage labor. Wage labor didn't even exist. Our idea of wage is actually pretty new, coming out of the Industrial Revolution. Now, I would say that many people left Europe to have autonomy over their earnings, but it was not wage labor. Farming is not an hourly wage, but a lot of those Europeans came because they could own land in the New World, where they could not own land in Europe because there was hereditary systems of land ownership they were not born into. But it is also important to remember that some European Americans came here because of religious persecution. Now, that didn't stop them from persecuting other people, the Pilgrims coming in and negatively impacting native populations. And it is worth noting the religious freedom they wanted was to be an incredibly prescriptive type of Christianity. But it is a central tenet of a lot of immigrants who've come to this nation that it was not, again, about wage labor, but about religion. Under the Dutch in New Amsterdam, you have European Jews who are dispossessed of their land and begin anew in America, creating synagogues, businesses, communities. Even those coming in the 19th century who really were dealing with the change in wage labor were also often dealing with other factors, like the rise in nationhood and being from a place, but being in a minority in that place. The Italian immigrants who came in the 19th century and the early 20th century were from a place that wasn't even a nation, and they were from communities that were not the majority. Sardinians, Corsicans, descendants of Samnians. Flattening the expansion to America to being about wage labor ignores the pernicious forces of colonialism, the very real struggles of religious persecution, and the very real struggles Europeans felt as nations were building and they were not in the majority. And mostly it just discounts the real experiences of many immigrants to America.